Wike, Umahi, Tunji Ojo, and others to jet to London to showcase Tinubu's achievements. Hello, viewers, and welcome to InfoGist TV. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, are set to attend an international press conference in London to promote the achievements of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration on the global stage. The announcement was made by Bode Adeyemi, the project internal coordinator of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Midterm Legacy Project Review Committee during a press briefing held in Abuja. Adeyemi said the event is part of a strategic effort to highlight Tinubu administration's midterm accomplishments across various sectors, including infrastructure, security, digital economy, and health care. Other top officials expected at the London event include the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Benga Komolafe, the Managing Director of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Usman Osidi, and the Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Services, Zacchaeus Adedeji. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government has made unprecedented achievements under 24 months of administration despite all the distractions and global economic situations, Adeyemi said. We have documented every major success into a compendium and a dedicated website which will be launched during the London conference. The conference, he added, will provide an opportunity for ministers and heads of agencies to showcase legacy projects and correct what they describe as misleading narratives about Tinubu's administration, especially among the international community. Adeyemi said the press conference and the official launch of a compendium and website of project executed by Tinubu's administration will be held on Friday, June 27, 2025. Also speaking, APC UK chapter chairman Tunde Doherty said the London event would counter opposition propaganda and reaffirm Nigeria's developmental trajectory under Tinubu. The commencement of operations by local and private refineries, efforts towards local government autonomy, and major infrastructure projects like the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road and Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway are undeniable successes, Doherty said. He explained that and the government's action on subsidy removal, improved revenue allocations to states, and enforcement of rule of law have positioned the country for a long-term growth. Meanwhile, the Federal High Court in Abuja has, on Monday, reserved judgment in suit challenging the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpotu-Uduaghan from Senate after a tense session marked by procedural disputes and sudden withdrawal of a contempt proceeding by the respondent. Justice Binta Nyako, who presided over the case, expressed strong dissatisfaction with what she described as a multiplicity of processes filed by the respondents. She warned both sides that the court would no longer tolerate frivolous applications or deliberate delays. This matter has dragged enough, she said firmly. We must bring it to an end and a close. After deliberation, the court adjourned for judgment, which is now scheduled for Thursday, June 27, 2025. Both parties are expected to return on the date for what could become a landmark ruling on legislative discipline, freedom of expression, and the rights of elected officials under Nigeria's Fourth Republic. The courtroom, packed with lawyers, observers, and journalists, fell into a tense silence as Justice Nyako rejected calls for another adjournment. She stressed that the public deserves a timely resolution to restore confidence in the judicial process. At the heart of the case is Senator Akpotu-Uduaghan's challenge to her controversial suspension from the Senate for 6 months over alleged misconduct. Her suspension followed her sexual harassment allegations against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. In a surprising turn, counsel for the respondents withdrew a contempt application they had earlier filed against the Senate. The motion stemmed from a satirical letter she wrote in response to her suspension. The court acknowledged the withdrawal without further comment, noting that the contempt process is no longer before the court. The controversy began when Kogi's Central Senator Akpotu-Uduaghan accused Senate President Akpabio of sexual harassment. Her subsequent suspension from the Senate for alleged misconduct has further complicated the situation, raising questions about motives and accountability. On the other hand, the House of Representatives rejected a constitutional amendment bill seeking to rotate the offices of the president and vice president among the 6 geopolitical zones. Also, the lawmakers rejected another seeking to strip the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) of its powers to register and regulate political parties. The proposal aimed to transfer these powers to the Office of the Registrar General of Political Parties. This bill, co-sponsored by the Speaker of the House, Abbas Tajuddin, and Francis Wave, was presented for second reading, but it was voted down after a voice vote conducted by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, who presided over the plenary. The bill on rotation sponsored by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Okezie Kalu sought to establish the principles of rotation for the offices of President and Vice President amongst Nigeria's six geopolitical zones: North Central, Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, South-South, and Southwest. Deputy Minority Leader Aliyu Madaki led the opposition to the bill, saying that issues the bill intend to tackle have been addressed by the Federal Character Commission, warning that the issue of rotation should not be included in the constitution but allowed to remain the way it is. He argued that political parties already have mechanisms to ensure fair representations during elections. On his part, Shina Onyedeji, PDP from Oyo State, said if the rotational principles holds, states and tribes in the region will start agitations for fairness and justice. He said if you adopt zoning and it comes to Southwest, for example, which state will take the position? Is it Ogun or Oyo? For Sada Soli from APC Katsina State, the proposed alteration is ingenious. However, he wondered whether it will work against the issue of quality